Everybody needs a little more Mayo. Healthy living for your life with Mayo. It's not about dieting, it's about living. All you need is just a little more Mayo. Healthy living for your life with Mayo. It's not about dieting, it's about living. The world needs more Mayo.
Hello, how are you today? Welcome to Mindful Eating with Mayo. Today we're going to be talking about how it all started. To be a CEO, it's not like an overnight thing. So it actually takes several years to get to being successful. So we're going to go back to my growing up. And then we're going to go through the decades and show you or tell you or share with you how I got to where I am today. Growing up on a farm, hence the nice flannel I have on, I fed the pigs, I fed the cows every morning before school, and also after school too. And we pulled weeds on the weekends from the garden that was probably about an acre long. And not my favorite thing to do early in the morning on a weekend, but looking back on it, it was definitely an amazing way to grow up. So, living in the early 70s, growing up in the 70s, it was a really great time. So, I ate really well. Every meal there was a salad from the garden. We went and picked snap beans and peas. So every night we did them after school. We were snapping peas, end to end, and picking broccoli, cabbage, lettuces, cucumbers, and beans actually off the pole. So that actually was fun because you actually get to see how everything is grown and appreciate it a lot more when you have it on your plate. So beautiful, all the colors. So graduating high school, I knew that I was getting out, right? So I went to college for accounting, and then life happens. You try and figure out what you want to do, where you're gonna live. Are we going to get married? Is it, everything's going to happen? Do I stay with this person? Do I not? Where am I? It's just all of these amazing things happen in your, teen, 20 years, 30 even. So for me, I traveled a lot. So I lived in the US Virgin Islands in St. Thomas, and I had a career of bartending and I was modeling. I did my first film that summer, was Weekend at Bernie's Part 2. That was a pretty interesting one. And when I came back to the States, I moved to New York and was also modeling. And then I moved to Sarasota, Florida. And I went to school for culinary arts, and I was a sous chef for a while. I loved cooking. Like I say, I love food. I love talking about food. And I just really love the components of food and how it makes you feel, and really figuring out the dynamics of what works for one body, but not another body, right? So that was a lot of fun for me. And I still love being in the kitchen, obviously. I then worked in, I did so much. So I was a sous chef, I was a server, a bartender for so long. And then I ended up moving to Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, and lived right outside of Atlanta. And motivational speaking, I was going to school for marketing. And let's see. And then an amazing thing happened. So I'm going to get really, really private with you, because it's a part of my life that I haven't told a lot of people. But I ended up finding 6 siblings. And that was an amazing part of my life. So there are reasons why you meet people in life: for a season, for a lifetime, or for who they help you meet along the way. I was guest bartending when I moved back up to New York. I was guest bartending at an event, and a gentleman was there and had asked me about my education and what I wanted to do. And he introduced me into mortgages. So this is really, so long story short is one of the managers at one of the other mortgage offices, he had a friend, and his friend was a private investigator. And the private investigator helped me find my siblings. So that day I met my siblings was probably one of the most amazing days of my life. So that I was, again, working in mortgages. And from then, I loved mortgages. It's almost like figuring out a puzzle, right? So again, it goes back to helping everybody, because everybody is different, right? So that mindset of trying to figure out how to help someone based on their body chemistry. So again, I love the mortgages, and because every mortgage is different, just like every person is different. And that was also one of my favorite careers. But currently, I am an international, award-winning, best-selling author of mindful eating. I have my own corporate wellness business. I also am very grateful that I have a very thriving practice. It's a private practice. I help and coach people one-on-one with their health, whether that be hormone health or brain health, nutrition, of course, right? And I'm thrilled. I think this is my most passion project, and my purpose of why I'm here on this earth is to help and bring awareness to what is actually in our foods and what's going in our foods. So I'm going to get out of this country gear and get into my CEO gear, if you don't mind. So here we go. I got to get my, throw that over there. And I got to get my apron on, because this is what I do. So I think we have guest, maybe, I mean, that was kind of a quick synopsis on me coming from the farm. And obviously it wasn't easy, because I've, you go through life and you have ups and downs, right? So there have been many times where I was up, right, on that high roller coaster. I guess you could say that, life was good for a long time. And then things happen in life events happen. And, then things don't go so well. So you just pick yourself back up. And I don't know, maybe somebody needs to hear this, but just dust yourself off and get back up, because there are those roller coasters that go back up, and it'll be your time again really soon. And because you're a child of God, it's always going to happen. So it's just a matter of time. But anyway, getting back to how I became the CEO of my own company. Again, it is hard, and it's not an overnight success, but you just keep moving forward with the passion that you have in your belly, because that's what it is. And if you don't know that you have the passion, or you don't know what it is, just meditate with yourself and feel what you are most passionate about. And if your belly, or if you have a drive that's deep inside, that's almost like a divine connection to something, go after it. And just, again, keep moving forward, because that's what I did. I just kept moving forward until, no, I'm still not done. I got a lot more to do. I'm working on this show, this video series, and I can't wait until it's finished, really, because I've been doing a lot of the editing myself. But anyway, so this is the book that's an award-winning international best-selling author. And then I also co-wrote this book called Roots of Leadership. And this book I co-authored with the CEO of Marsh and McLennan Agencies. They're an insurance company who do employee benefits. This book also has a podcast associated with it. So if you Google podcasts, or wherever you find your podcasts, and put Roots of Leadership in, you'll see an amazing lineup of podcasts. Okay, so sorry, it's a little emotional, but again, if you're wanting to own your own business, obviously, you know, it's a lot of work. So I'm here to help. And if there's anything I can do, if you're interested in writing a book, I can give you a couple of tips on how to do that. Again, it's just moving forward. And if you have had life events, it doesn't define who you are. You just gotta build yourself back up, and just, again, keep pushing forward, because when you're down, there's no other way to go but up. So I hope, I know this was really quick, but I just don't want to bore you with all those amazing details. But so anyway, if we have any questions, I feel like there should be a question or two.
Hello, Miss Mayo. Good job as always. So I was curious. I was thinking maybe tell everybody give them some information on where and how to purchase your award-winning best-selling international book.
Okay. So you can find it on Amazon.com, or you go to my website, KarenMayo.com. Oh, you know what? I want to tell a story about my book and how I got there. So I didn't even, I just skipped over so much stuff, but I feel like we'll be here for like 4 hours. But that was like one of the turning points, because you just realize that when things are going bad, something good will happen. And I think that was my key thing I really wanted to point out, is that, again, we always have lows in our life, and the highs is what makes the lows, makes you stronger. But so my inspiration for writing my book, which was a change in my career from working in mortgages to working in health and wellness and being an expert, was when my nephew came to stay with me during his 6th grade school year. My sister, single mom, she enrolled into the United States Army. So obviously Scott couldn't go with her to boot camp, so he came to stay with me. And prior to him coming to stay with me, he was eating everything from fast food, to having, a bag. His favorite snack was in a bag with food coloring, red, yellow, and blue. And it had it looked like a triangle. But so he was eating all that, and he was then diagnosed with ADHD, and he was taking medication. So when he came to stay with me, I mean, I didn't think I was doing, I mean, I don't eat fast food and I wasn't serving him fast food, but I didn't think I was doing anything other than what my mom did with me and my sisters growing up. So ultimately what happened was I was making him breakfast in the morning. I was packing his lunch almost every day. And then I was making a healthy dinner at night. So everything, like we were on that schedule for a long time. I mean, we even had pizza. So if we had pizza, you know, there was always a salad. So I always had a salad because I remember growing up, my mother always had a salad. And, you know, the greens and the vegetables are really, really good for our blood and our brains. So anyway, so again, we would have pizza or we would have pasta, but again, there was a big salad first. And his lunch was everything from peanut butter and jelly to, you know, some, you know, tuna fish or, you know, the stuff that I grew up on. So everything was going well. And then I got a call from one of Scott's teachers and they wanted to see me. Her and the other teachers wanted to see me about my nephew. So I actually didn't know why. I thought maybe it was because he really needed his medication because he didn't come to my house with it. So I went to the school the day of the meeting and I walked through the doorway and I'm like, oh my God, I'm in big trouble. And because there was the vice president, I'm sorry, the vice principal, the principal, Scott's teachers, and then when you're diagnosed with ADHD, you have a special set of teachers. And then there was a person from the school district. So I'm like, oh. And the teacher who called me, she was like, Karen, don't worry, you're not in trouble. Go ahead and have a seat. And I was like, oh my God, this is the first time I get called to the principal's office and I'm not in trouble. This is amazing. So I sat there and I listened to his teachers tell me, his math teacher was like, you know, I'm in awe of him. And I'm like, why? She's like, do you realize he multiplies 3 numbers by 3 numbers, arrives at the correct answer, and he doesn't even use scratch paper? Because I remember he was getting in trouble for not using scratch paper. And I was like, Scott, I'm like, why aren't you using scratch paper? He's like, Aunt Karen, he goes, I just know the answer. I was like, okay, well, that's pretty amazing that you just know the answer. I'm like, okay. So they did. They rewarded him with straight A's in math throughout the school year. He was in the top 10% of the kids nationwide with the online math problems. And he was on the honor roll throughout the school year. And they were having a hard time trying to figure out like what happened, because he was a C student at best, always sliding by. And then now he's a straight A honor roll kind of student. And they were like, well, what did you do with him? And I was like, what did I do with him? Whoa. I sat there and I was like staring at the teachers, and I was like, what did I do with him? I mean, I couldn't think of anything. And then I said to them, I go, you know what? I mean, the only thing that he has done differently is he's eating healthy food. Like there's no fast food in my house. So I contribute all of this amazing stuff. All of this was happening with him. He's eating healthier food, so his brain and his body are healthier. So I was like, wow, if I can do this with a 6th grader, then I need to get out and talk to people, because it really is just changing your mindset on food. I mean, you can actually eat healthy and not break the bank, you know. So even growing food right now, I mean, it's, you know, springtime here, you know, planting some peppers, some tomatoes, herbs especially. So that was my shift when I was going from mortgage banking to health and wellness and nutrition. I had always been the kind of like the wellness person. So it was really easy for me to incorporate into obviously my life and the life of my family and friends. But I went to nutrition school and I've just been going ever since. I've got many certifications. I'm certified in integrative health, hormone health. I'm certified in brain health by Dr. Daniel Lehman and the Clinics. I'm a personal trainer and certified in sports nutrition. I'm a chef, obviously. And I really, really love what I do. I love helping people. I love making people aware of what you put in your mouth is going to affect your brain and your body. So if you want to be cautious, get your journal out and just write what you're eating every day. That will actually, open your eyes to what you're actually putting in your mouth. And because it does affect you. And there is no cure right now. Well, there's no cure on the horizon actually for Alzheimer's disease. And blood sugar and foods that convert into sugar are all factors in Alzheimer's disease. Also, Alzheimer's disease and dementia actually starts decades in your brain before it's even diagnosed. So right now is the time. If you're hearing my message, right now is the time to figure this out and change your diet or switch things out. Instead of white rice, have brown rice. And if you don't like brown rice, there's black rice and there's red rice. So, but brown rice acts like a little sponge, and brown rice is so great. I mean, it's just one of those rices that you can quickly make and mix it with vegetables, and you have an amazing dinner. But anyway, okay, back to this. So yes, Amazon.com, KarenMayo.com, and like I said, I'm putting together a 30-day program. It's a video program where the first 10 days are free, and then if you want to go forward or go deeper into the mindful eating program, you can. It's right now it's a special price, and it probably will go up after that. But right now it's $15 to get in. So so go to KarenMayo.com for more details. And you have another question, Ricky?
I do. Thank you, Karen. I think that's great information. I think I'm going to take a part of that as well. I have a quick question. So, one, this is going back to you being a farm girl. I would assume that you probably since you were growing your own vegetables and fruits, and you were having a salad, fresh garden salad, literally a garden salad every night at dinner. I would assume that it was 100% organic. So do you have any thoughts on organic versus non-organic?
Right. So, if you go to ewg.org, they put out Clean 15 and a Dirty Dozen. So it doesn't matter where you are in the United States or the world, they will let you know what the highest amount of pesticides are on the vegetables and fruits. It is obviously better to grow your own, but as far as like your avocado and stuff you have to peel, you don't necessarily have to buy those organically. But you just have to worry about the GMOs. So the PLU code for GMO is the 8. And the PLU code, these are the little codes that are on your fruits and vegetables. The PLU code for organic is 9. And then the PLU code for conventional, which is what is mostly in the grocery stores, is 3 and 4. But when you have the 3 and 4, you have to make a decision. Do you want to make a bath? So you do 1 part white vinegar to 2 parts water. Put your fruits and vegetables in the bath. Let them sit there for a little while. They're not necessarily going to taste like vinegar as long as you don't leave them in for like more than 20 minutes. But give them a nice you know, like roll. And then if you have a vegetable brush, go ahead and brush them off. And then you want to rinse them. So once they're in the bath, you rinse them after that. And they're actually going to stay a lot longer in the refrigerator or wherever you have them stored, just because they don't have the, you know, the pesticides or the herbs, you know, all that stuff. But yeah, so those are like little codes, and actually on the PLU code will actually tell you where it's from too. So look inside the United States first, and if you don't know what's in season, look in the freezer as well, because frozen fruits and vegetables are sometimes better for you, or they stay a lot longer, and actually they are healthier for you than stuff that's in a can or stuff that's been out of season sitting. It just has more minerals in it.
That is great information, something I didn't know. I just took 5 lines of notes on everything you were saying, so I'm going to be looking at that. One last question. This is for you and maybe future authors or entrepreneurs that are looking maybe or are currently just starting out or are currently writing a book on their chosen field. Do you have any tips for authors who are just starting out as far as networking goes, and what helped you in your past become the renowned author that you are today?
Right. So, I would start local. So start writing in your local newspapers, get a hold of local TV, even like, gosh, there really is a lot of stuff, like even doing Facebook Lives, you know, just getting your information. And if you have a book already done, even reach out to me, I'll help promote you too. So, I mean, I've got a ton of contacts, I've got a ton of media and PR contacts everywhere. So yeah, just start local, get into your local network. You know, even like networking, who's your sphere of influence, you know, that those 5 or 6 people who could actually help sell your book for you.
Awesome. That is great. Karen, I don't have any other questions. I don't know if anybody else has any. If there's any questions from the chat room, post them now. Otherwise, I'm good. Thank you for your time, Karen. How can they reach you one more time before the segment ends?
Sure. They can reach me on my website, KarenMayo.com. And also this book here, Roots of Leadership, is on Amazon.com as well. So, and the proceeds go to children with learning disabilities. So that's where the proceeds go to on that one.
That's great.
Okay, hearing no other questions, I'm going to say, you know what it is. It's not about dieting. It's about living. Thank you.
Everybody needs a little more Mayo. Healthy living for your life with Mayo. It's not about dieting, it's about living. All you need is just a little more Mayo. Healthy living for your